All right, hello everyone, welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Brogan, and obviously today we are back for another trading stream. You know, Mondays and Fridays, always on for the trading streams. Now, I can't be around the bush here. I don't want to beat around the bush. I don't want to, go, be, careful about it. We're all right. Or, when I say we, they're all we, but also obviously KB, you're saying the same thing as me. We were right, 92.5, even worse. Now, okay. Again, 2025, my New Year's resolution was to not talk about the charts when the charts aren't in front of me. However, I will break the rule for just this one time, which is some things fell quite drastically outside of my understanding of where we could potentially go to. Obviously, Bitcoin, we pretty much got right, and we will look at it, obviously, in a minute or whenever we look at it, which obviously shows where we exactly hit, which was directly the center of one of the breaker blocks I had. Or one of the ranges I had, aka in the equilibrium, which obviously we talked about on the past 2 or 3 streams, whenever it was, 2 streams. Obviously, we'll get into it. And obviously, the main thing is going to be where we're going to see after this whole movement. Now, obviously, if you've seen the price in the past 25 seconds, you will know it's about 102k. And obviously, it's to be expected. And obviously, we'll get into where I think we're going to go. But again, if you've seen Telegram, you kind of know what I'm thinking. But let's just get on to what I have here. I thought I'd bring up a tweet just to see what the liquidation's like. Why are we here? What's going on? What's happened? Obviously, in my opinion, I can only really look at my charts. Obviously, you can look on the outside, but I can only really attribute it to what I've got on my screen, which obviously is my charts. But we do have these liquidations, which kind of helped. I'd be a fool not to say it didn't help bring us to where we are right now. So, we just witnessed, according to Kobesi letter, I think these guys are called. We just witnessed the biggest one-day liquidation in crypto history. $800 billion of market cap was lost in a matter of hours, and total liquidations hit $2 billion. Not even in the collapse of FTX on March 2020 saw liquidations like this. However, I have seen other tweets actually talking about different numbers, like 8 and 9 billion liquidations. If I scroll around, I think I might find someone who mentioned it. I'm afraid that today, real total liquidation is a lot more than $2 billion. By my estimation, it should be at least around $8 to $10 billion. FYI, Bybit 24-hour liquidations alone was $2.1 billion. As you can see in below screenshots, Bybit 24-hour liquidations recorded on CoinGlass was around $333 million, however. So there's a bit of a difference there. But in terms of what's been reported, just on this platform alone is 2.1, even more than the general rounded number of what people have been given, which is $2 billion. So yeah, it could be even worse than we thought. But again, we can only really look at what we have in front of us, which is the response of all of this from the charts. And what we can see, we're at 101k. So again, I don't really care how much we lost, because hey, I didn't lose. So all I'll say is I didn't lose. We can only look at what we have in terms of the response in the charts, and we're at 101k, 101.7 right now. Anyways, I'm looking at the top left hand side of my screen. It's not that bad, realistically. I realised I need to put that there, because I don't actually need to do that. Yeah, anyway, just want to quickly look at these, see what the actual numbers were. Obviously, go on to CoinMarketCap, see what percentage we're going. Obviously, we've come down, and then we've just come back up again. So it doesn't really if you just look at the Bitcoin 1 hour, 24 hour, and 7 day, it actually just looks like we've had a normal day. Oh, brilliant, we've gone up. Not showing the blood, sweat, and tears from many people in the markets in the past. I don't even know how fast the movement was. I think it was like 4 a.m. my time this morning. It literally took no time to move down all the way back up again. Obviously by now, so didn't take that long at all. Obviously 102k, pretty much 102k right now. Obviously it's a bit out actually on the numbers. Probably refresh it. So yeah, 2% 1 hour, nearly 3.5%, 4% whatever, 24 hour, and 2% 7 day. So again, you can kind of tell, just by the percentages alone, the recovery rate of within the last hours, 24 hours, obviously, 7 day being less than 24 hour, obviously, clearly, we've had something big happen. Obviously, I don't know why I'm talking like we don't know this. We already know we're 101.6, and we've obviously come down 91k, wherever it was, which was ridiculous. But yeah, so we've covered nicely, which is good. Ethereum 2,750. Again, we fell very hard for Ethereum. Now, personally, again, you can never get everything right. People get things right, people get things wrong. Okay. Now, Bitcoin, we got pretty spot on. Ethereum, I think, what was it? It was ridiculous. We fell so far down. However, I retrospectively looking back on our chart and then finding something, obviously doesn't really help us in the moment. However, I did find a really massive support point, which we came to for Ethereum, but we've already come to 3 times before. So if I was a bit more attentive on Ethereum, I probably would have found it. So obviously, I apologize. Solana, obviously, 214, we're kind of coming back up into the equilibrium now, but we did fall below the larger range equilibrium, but we did hit off the lower range equilibrium for Solana as well on the 27, I think it is. So I will obviously show that on the stream in a second. Anyway, I just want to see who's winning and who's losing. Also, it's really cold in my room, and I'm starting to shiver. So I don't know if that's going to affect the way I speak, but I've got a chill in my spine, and I'm shivering. I've closed my window, and I can't heat myself up. So if you hear this in the microphone, then I apologize. Fartcoin, I hate Fartcoin. I don't know what it is. I've never looked at the chart. I hate it. I don't know what it is. It's 33% up. Congratulations, guys. You just slightly made money. Dog Fat's pretty down. You know what? I really don't care, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I actually do not care. I'm looking at the comments, though, because there are people talking. Let's see what's going on. Also, the poll, really disrespectful, actually. I will say that, Mike. I didn't appreciate what you said in the first one. That's why I closed the poll. I saw it, started the stream, saw Mike was right again, wasn't he? I was disheartened. I was disgusted at that poll. It really, really irked me. So I had to manually go into the studio, delete the poll, and do my own one, which kind of represented what the situation was, because I spoke to Mike off stream, and I said, I think we're going to 92.5k. On the weekly, we have the bounce off the equilibrium. I think this is going to cause us to come down during the week. I said during the week. We've gone a bit fast, but I said over the weekend, pretty much opening, because obviously if you were here the past stream or two, I've been talking about the weekly equilibrium. You know what? I'll probably bring it up on the screen. I don't really care about CoinMarketCap. I'll just bring it up. If you've been here on the past streams, you will recognize this thing I'm about to bring up here. Let me just hide like all of this crap on the screen. It's just so much trash everywhere. I said this in Telegram as well, so if you also look at Telegram, you'll know what I've talked about. So my main point was this bounce, and basically coming up, obviously on the lower time frames on the daily, it looks a bit better. You know, this doesn't look very good. It doesn't really look like a bounce, but it is a bounce, especially on the lower time frames. You see a bit more hoverage in these areas. I think on the daily it's a bit better. Like, yeah, you can see it here as like these tests above and then come right back down. So I looked at this on the weekly already, and I basically said, if we don't print above this blue line, my thesis, or hypothesis, whatever the different, I think hypothesis is something you can test, and thesis, I can't remember, whatever, I'm not a scientist. Basically, my idea was, if we don't hold and print above the blue area, we're going to come back and do what we did in December time, basically. And obviously, you know, you can see we've done that. You know, we had this area down here, which was 92k, because what I did, I zoomed out on the weekly and went, okay, cool, we've got this area. I think the status currently is, or the, you know, what's happening is basically we don't print above here, and we bounce, basically bounce. We've come up, we've hit off him, obviously, especially on the daily, as we saw, come up and hit here, and we don't break above. This is just going to be us on the upper end of the equilibrium. Now, again, I've talked about this on I haven't started my timer. I have not started my timer. I do apologize. There we go. I have talked about this on different time frames, on different coins, when we've been in a very similar situation, where we've been in equilibrium, you know, this big old area with the red and the blue. And we've had scenarios where we've done this, you know, bounced up here, and then we've broken above and used the support. We've done this. You know, we've had we've had structures within equilibrium, and this is no different. You know, I mentioned this last stream before. This is no different. You know, bounced off this area. So going back to my main point, which was how disgusted I was at the poll. He basically was like, oh yeah, was Mike right? Yes or yes, which is really disheartening me, because obviously, as I was getting on to before I sidetracked, I spoke to him about 92.5k. Now I understand, you know, if you don't have full blinding trust in your charts, you may understand, well, how are we going to get down there? Now, yes, I do understand the liquidations and cascading downwards towards these areas. Cool. All I have to go off is how my charts tell me what's going on. Okay, that's all I've got. So he didn't believe me. And I can't remember what it was exactly. I think he said, if you are right and we do go towards 92k-ish, I'll tweet, what was it again? I think he said something along the lines of, I'll tweet out an apology or something like that. And I'm yet to see a tweet. So, you know, I'm going to hold it to him. Anyway, I actually will go back to the comments now, because I haven't finished. Let me go from the top. KB, shout out to you, KB. Very broken as we had the same 92k card. Yeah, because we were pretty much talking. I think from a lot of the charts, pretty much not even just now, but in previous, we've been very alike in terms of our targets, which is obviously a good thing. I'm glad we have confluence on our charts. But yeah, we basically had the similar targets. Obviously, I know I had 94k as well. There were different kind of price points, but the main one I was focusing on was 92.5k. Obviously, we dipped a bit below that, but obviously I will show you guys. I'll show you guys now, actually. I'm gonna have to unhide all this, aren't I? Okay, let's just. Okay, you know what? Let's delete this big old thing. I don't really know why it's there in the first place. I think I have like, what's it called? You know what? Nah, whatever. That's not what I wanted to unhide. I think I'll go to the 4 hour. Here we go. Okay, so this is our. What the hell is that? Okay, where are we? Here we are. So yeah, let's hide this white thing because holy crap, it's massive. There we go. Okay, so this was the situation. Okay, this is our bounce. Pretty nice. Obviously arguable. Oh, it's not quite on the midline. How far are we off the midline? Midline 91,351, 91,189. So we've got, you know, $100, something along those lines. You know, $100 a bit dollars. But yeah, the main area I was looking at was like, because I obviously didn't know if it's going to hit the top line or not, was obviously 92.5k. It was like, okay, well, the top line of this area, 92.5k. My kind of point was, I think we'll bounce off equilibrium. I think my checklist was, we'll bounce off the red line for equilibrium, bounce basically within equilibrium. I think we'll wick down towards the 92k range and then go back upwards. What have we done? Let's see. What have we done? Obviously, this is kind of a Door Explorer. Well, you know, can you help me read the map? What do we have here? Well, number one, we have the bounce off the equilibrium. And then obviously, number two, we have the wick into the range. So I think I was pretty right, obviously. You know, you guys could be the judge of that. Obviously, we'll get onto what we're going into now. But yeah, very similar targets, saying the same thing. Let me scroll down some more. And then obviously me defending myself and thanking KB for agreeing, because obviously I was right. Okay. Yeah. 92, 3, and 89k were my two, but I think but I didn't think we were going to see there without massive market news. Yeah, I mean, again, we've had a bit of stuff outside of the charts. I obviously will not be someone who can't admit that, which obviously I will believe has helped drastically. And again, I think the majority of this focus has not just been on what's caused this, but why. Obviously, what's caused this has obviously helped, but is in terms of the trap, the setup we've had. Obviously, the amount of liquidations we've had obviously kind of mentions it. Trigger happy. Oh my god, we're going up. Pump. Let's all long. Liquidations. Liquidate. Sell. Guess what happens when you sell? We hit another liquidation point. Sell. All the way down to our support point. Okay, so it's one of those things. You know, it's more so of the effect it had on the market rather than the news which brought it upon us, basically. But anyway, yeah, I agree with you, KB. Caught me off guard. When I was talking about it, I think on my streams, obviously with Mike outside the streams, I was talking it like, okay, we'll see what happens over the weekend if we print or not above this blue line. I think, you know, maybe by middle to the end of the week, I thought we were going to see our steady movement downwards, but I'm happy we've moved this far down this fast. Obviously, we'll get into it. Yeah, we'll get into it. I only have a few more comments, though. I will actually get into the charts eventually. But to be fair, I didn't start my timer until whenever. So we will get onto it. Let me scroll up. Hold on. According to John Brown, the drop was 3 massive liquidation points. Yeah, yeah. Again, just massive cascading liquidations. Bunch of people get liquidated. Sells happen, moves it down more, unfortunately hits another liquidation point, and then the same process until you hit a point where we have liquidations where it doesn't bring us to another massive point and there's not enough sell pressure to bring us down. Then that's where you find the support points, which again, that also, it's not only that, it's also, you know, the amount of sells brings the price down until we can see the buys, basically. So obviously it's just one of those things. Bushbull, welcome Bushbull. You know what, it's been a while. I think my main issue's been I've not actually posted the stream link into the Telegram in a while, so obviously you guys can tell me if that's the case or not. But basically, I haven't seen you guys in a while, so Bushbull, shout out to you, man. It's been a while. I looked at my portfolio and I thought I'd better go to work this morning. Very true. I mean, it depends. I mean, obviously, you know, there will always be people who are long in things and being positive. There will always be people who are, you know, looking on the negative side of things. And obviously, just fortunately enough, I was on the negative side of things. So, you know, it's just one of those things. You're getting much better at streaming, Mr. Oracle. Nice smooth. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Start time. Yeah, I've started it. Yeah, many YouTubers were telling their followers to go long. Now we dumped. They're saying to go short. I hope this situation in the market, I don't want it to make you guys think I'm the Oracle. I am the Oracle. But it makes you guys think I'm someone amazing. I just hope it kind of, because what tends to happen in markets sometimes is people sheep other people kind of imitate other people. I think what happens a lot of time is there's a lot of cross echoing between different streams. I don't watch any crypto streamers. I don't watch anybody. I just do my thing, and whether that be something you guys appreciate or don't appreciate, then it's just one of those things where I didn't pay attention to what anyone else was saying. So I don't really get swayed by what others say in the market because I don't look at it in the first place. I just look at what I have on my charts, and it's for you guys to decide if you agree with what I have on my charts or not and want to follow it along or whatever. Obviously, that is up to opinion. So I didn't even know people were saying to go long. I'm not surprised because there's always been people saying go long, go short. I'm grateful that I was saying short and I'm right. So so you guys go, oh wow, he was right. I want you to guys, to I want to be a right. I don't want to say things on a stream and be wrong all the time. Otherwise, there's no point of you guys watching. But yeah, I don't watch other people. I don't know what they say. Okay, so obviously, thank you for telling me. But I don't let it kind of, sway me or whatever. This morning I realized it was too early for me for my early retirement. Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things. We were going too up for too long, and it just happened. I mean, that's why there's cascading liquidations. These sorts of liquidations, which just bring us down again. It's just one of those things where it's like it kind of comments on the situation of people's emotions and how we were feeling in the market. It clearly just shows us we were feeling pretty good about ourselves. That we had that much confidence that everyone was longing, and it caused us to have this massive sell pressure when we did eventually come down. Yeah, it's crazy. Let me scroll down a bit more. Another blip, another dip. Crypto is a fully round trip. I don't know who you think you are. All right, your rhymes, okay? Show me the chart and I'll tell you the news. Bernard Branch. Yeah, that's a really nice comment. Well, really nice quote. I like that. Yeah, I mean, again, I obviously do look at the news. I do, try to keep majoritively up to date, see what's going on in economics as a whole, not just crypto. But again, the only thing, what makes me, not saying what makes me different, but there would be no point of watching me if there wasn't me commenting on something you guys haven't seen before. So, for example, my charts and my ranges. No one really streams these sorts of ranges, So there would be no point of watching me if I was saying the same thing as 20 other people who are all doing the same thing. So, that's why I put more weighting into my charts, whether it follow up with the news or not. Obviously, and that's why I always kind of preface, if something really positive happens or something really negative happens, it will obviously bring, my TA out of sync with what the market's doing. But yeah, I mean, I don't really, do that much. I can't believe all you voted, Brogan. All of you. How many people voted? When did it end? When did the poll end? Has it ended yet? I can't see it. Oracle prediction. Thank you, Kishan. Took a bit dip at 92k. Yeah, obviously that's okay. I've caught up with the comments now. I just want to see what everyone was saying. We will obviously get onto the chart now. But yeah, like I said, the wick was basically to the midpoint. Now again, my main analysis or my main movements prediction was a print and bounce basically above on the equilibrium at the red line at 93.8 whatever, but my main kind of thing was to wick down into this range at 92k. Sorry, I just had a really dry throat then. There we go. So yeah, so to just basically look at the movement between basically Friday and today. Obviously, there's not really much to look at. I mean, it's kind of, Friday, stream here, obviously here. Now, to be fair though, it doesn't look like, obviously, if you were to kind of compare the percentages, we've just come right back to where we were last stream. But again, in between this movement has had so much going on. This has had so much going on. Obviously, thankfully, being right. And I'm quite excited to go onto Ethereum because I was wrong, pretty wrong. Because I was like, oh yeah, we'll see 2817. 2817 would be good support. To be fair, in hindsight, I probably should have tried to measure the percentage movement for Bitcoin and apply that to Ethereum and Solana just to see where we should have gone. And again, I didn't do that. I kind of just looked at where the closest support point was. Obviously, in Bitcoin's sake, it was down here for equilibrium. Solana's sake, it was about $200, 196, whatever it was. In Ethereum's case, it was 2817, which obviously we fell below and came pretty far below it. But again, we're pretty much back now. But that's what's so nice. And obviously, I was getting onto this in the comments when I was saying, I'm glad we've moved this fast. because it hasn't allowed us to set up a nice movement downwards and have a downtrend all the way down and find support and resistance. We've literally just come right back down and now we're coming right back up. So we haven't formed any resistances or any crap stuff. We haven't had enough time, basically, and enough normal price action to be able to form these resistances and supports. What's happened is, I believe this is a support point. Yep. This is a support breaker block on a lower range, which we've obviously flipped and found great support at. We haven't had enough time below us to obviously find resistance, and now we're just coming right back up. And obviously now we're probably going to find support again. Obviously you can see, good support in here, good support here again, good support here. Obviously now we've dipped below, now we've come back up. Wouldn't be surprised if we had maybe a little bounce off 102.2, found support at about 100k, and then obviously continue on upwards. Important thing though, another important thing to note in our movement is this. We haven't done a lower low. What's this? 116k. Yeah, I did put that. To be fair, I did name the stream 116k soon. It might be a bit of an exaggeration. I'm not gonna lie. Again, it's interpretation. If you're someone who's just gonna look at the stream title and go, oh, 116k, brilliant news, and then not click the stream, there you go. But it might not be 116k. We will find it out together where we're going to go. But anyway, back to my point, which is obviously we had a bit of an iffy movement here in terms of price action, but we were having, especially in this period, lower lows and lower highs. Obviously, this was a bit of an iffy moment as well, but the majority of the movement down, especially with when you're moving down, it's more about the lows. Obviously, moving upwards, the highs are obviously very important, especially this one and this one. But again, the main important point I'm trying to mention, or trying to make anyway, is this low here. With this, even if it's this low, these lows here, in comparison to this one, is higher. We did a higher low. So this whole movement has been a nice setup to have a higher high and a higher low. What does that mean? What do you think that means? What do you guys think that means? Well, in my opinion, what I think that means is we've not exited out of a uptrend. And again, I'm looking at the daily because it makes it a bit easier to look for the trends. Now again, they'll probably be different. We're probably in a different trend on the 4 hour or the 1 hour. But again, I do these streams. The next stream, TA wise, will be on Friday. We will be streaming on Wednesday for our Mew thing, so I maybe could have a quick little look at Bitcoin if there's something interesting happens. KB, I think we're coming up this week. I mentioned it in Telegram. I know you talked in Telegram as well, KB, and we basically said the same thing. Kel Surprise, we said the same thing. Yeah, I did. Actually, you know what? I don't want to bring it up because you guys can go look at it after the stream if you want to go look at what I talked about in Telegram, which kind of summarizes what I think. If you were to click off the stream right now and come back to me going on Ethereum, you could just read what I mentioned in Telegram. I did send quite a bit in Telegram, but you can just go to Telegram and you will probably see exactly what I'm about to say in the stream anyway, which talks about doing a higher high above 109,800, and talking about us going up this week. That's basically what I said. So basically, to regurgitate what I said on Telegram, again, basically, is we haven't broken out of this trend. I think we haven't broken, as KB would mention, structure in his tweet as well, in his Telegram post. So I don't think we're out of the realm of as per our movement going above our previous high, which is, like I mentioned, 109,800. AKA saying we're going to do a higher high above 109,800 if we do follow this. Now again, we probably will have difficulty on these equilibriums, but again, this is a weekly equilibrium. So the idea is on the weekly, we're supposed to print above these areas. So what that should mean for us is over the dailies and 4 hours and whatever, it should be us moving up towards 109,800 and more importantly, moving up and printing on the weekly above 104,500. Those are the main things, okay? Because again, going back to the weekly to show you once more, this was why I said, this whole thing, this movement here, moving down, and this movement, which obviously we've had basically, was the entire reason why I thought personally. Now again, there's different people do different ways of TA, but in my charts, in my opinion, this was the reason, was that we didn't break above 104,500 and print above it to confirm ourselves outside of equilibrium, which then caused us to have this movement downwards to the former end or latter end, whatever you want to say, the lower end of the equilibrium, which is obviously 94k to 92.5k area down here. So that's why I thought it. So to bring this into what we're going to do now is going to have to be coming above this area. Now again, we're 101.8, massive candle. And again, on the daily, it doesn't look that hard. Like again, it's only a couple percent up. it's a slow process. Now, again, the main issue is, if we go to the 4 hour, we do have this breaker block. Now, again, I probably shouldn't use these ranges because this is like a weekly range. I should probably use like one of these ranges. But again, on this range, the 19863, whatever. Obviously, I did talk about equilibrium. Where to buy now, or where to buy 91.5. Okay. Now, Tariq, I don't know if you were here last stream on the stream before. Okay, because obviously, we have quite a lot more viewers on this stream. So there's kind of a me posting link on Telegram and a lot more people joining. So that's probably my fault. I don't know if I posted. Did I post the last stream? I think I did. No. January 31st. Oh, never mind. If you guys weren't there, obviously, I can't do much more. All right. So obviously, when to buy, it was 92k, 92.5k. Obviously on the Friday stream, I did talk about it was coming down to 92.5k for a short. I did say get in a short now. Solana, I also said get in a short now. Ethereum, I also said get in a short now. And obviously we did that. So the idea would be if you're in a short towards 92.5k, the idea is if you want to buy somewhere, it's going to be 92.5k. So it was 92.5k. So there is a bit we've missed a bit. You know, coming from 92.5k, we've missed a bit of movement. You know, 11.5% to be precise. We've missed a bit. So in terms of where we're going to go here, I think we could have a bit of cool off, especially because look, we came below purple line and printed below it. So we maybe could have another test above this area. Now, where's the purple line? It's going to be 100,700. So similar to how we have this 100,300, I think. In terms of the lower end, maybe in the next hour or whenever, it's going to be, you know, I think we'll come down a bit towards 100,300. I think we'll have a little bit of a confirm at the breaker block and then moving upwards again. I think we're going to have a confirm. Where am I? What's just... Random things happen to me, I swear to God. So in terms of what we're doing, I think we're going to have a... Also, is my mic too loud? Because I noticed on my last stream, I started to shout a bit and I think it got really loud. So... do say in the comments if my mic is peaking or whatever, so I can move it away. But anyway, I think we'll cool off. I think we need to confirm above breaker block, even though we didn't break below it too critically. But again, this area here is a big support point. We've had this on the daily. We've had a daily breaker block. We've used it multiple times. Remember, we've had this main area, this area here, had main support. This has been our main support area over this past in between 17th of January, basically up until, you know, the end of this month, has been a massive support point. Obviously this was massive resistance. Now again, this is a breaker block on the 4 hour in this area. It is a negative it's negative. Yes. No, this is a positive breaker block, but it's negative order block. Let me check. Actually, this should be a support point in theory, but we're using it massively in resistance, which obviously, you know, isn't too rare. All I've got is a breaker block, but obviously we are using resistance, which is, you know, is one of those things. But the main idea, not only do we have what should be support here, we have equilibrium. Now, obviously with this big circle here, this is equilibrium. You know, this is the equilibrium. This is going to be resistance. Okay. Now the main issue has been not only with this breaker block, it's been with the equilibrium. You know, because breaker block, big support, which we have used a couple times here and here. But the main issue has been not that we've had a breaker block of support, it's been the fact that we've had equilibrium, which has caused us to break down because we can't get above it because it's so strong. Look how hard it's been. We haven't even got up into the equilibrium printed properly. We had one massive wick upwards and a massive wick right back downwards. So in terms of our sentiment towards this equilibrium and how well we're treating it, are we going to break above it? Is it something which we can do easily? I don't think so. But again, obviously, coming from the position we are right now, we could have a bit, we could, you know, provide, you know, we could muster up a massive, what's the word for it? Momentum and break up eventually. Depends what we do, I suppose. But again, this is, based on the theory of these ranges, is a support point. It's just the fact that it's a breaker block, it is support and resistance, but it's resistance support. But the fact that we just have this equilibrium here means we can't really use it as support truly as well as we should do. So what does that mean? Well, this green area is support. This green area is support. The next main area of resistance within this range is this equilibrium between 106.7 and 110, whatever. So what does that leave us where we have now? Well, this is support, so we don't really have much issue here. This is also support, so we shouldn't realistically see that much issue. We could see resistance, and now again, we have seen resistance before within this, but it's not, again, to reiterate, it hasn't really been due to it being, wrong. It's the fact that we have equilibrium. In this case, we came up, we started to use it as support, but we bounced off equilibrium. Again, same thing here. We were using it as support, but we've come from a point of bouncing off equilibrium. So it's just too big of a resistance. Just something I went to buy. I still, even though we've recovered so highly right now, I still think over the longer term, in terms of coming into, Wednesday, Thursday, whenever, Friday, next 2 days, 3 days, it will be this situation moving upwards continuously. So in terms of, I think we are going to see higher points than we are in right now. I do think could be, again, now it wasn't the best time to buy, because coming from where we are right now, I do think we are going to cool off a bit. We are in a fair value gap area, so I think we've got a lot of confluence in this kind of in this 100,300 area of support. So I do think we could retrace down to there. If we look at even the 30 minute, I think we could retrace into here again. But as I see it, I don't think we have too much issue coming up more. Okay, so yeah, I think we'll continue to come upwards for Bitcoin. So in terms of actual, I'm yapping a bit, and I haven't really said a lot in the past 5 minutes. I've just said the same thing over and over again. What I will do, I'll go to the daily. Actually, I'll go back to the 4 hour. I'll stay on the 4 hour, so we can just look at. Now we've looked at where we've come from and the current situation relative to the 1 hour, 4 hour, whatever. What do I see future-wise? What do I see currently for Bitcoin in terms of daily? Coming to Wednesday, Thursday time. Well, I think we're gonna have another run at the resistance area, which is this 106k area. If we go back to the weekly, it was, what was it again? It's this point at 104,500. Now, you may notice we've had a lot of times where we've been above it. We've tried to hold it and then come down. So a lot of times, especially with obviously the confluence with holding this breaker block, we've also bounced off this blue line a couple of times, especially here and here, which is the weekly equilibrium. So again, looking at the weekly equilibrium on a 4 hour basis isn't going to be that smart, because it doesn't have that much. It's a bit broad. Obviously on the daily is probably a bit better, and if we look at the daily, we actually don't really see it as much on the daily as per the 4 hour. You can see on the 4 hour we do really bounce off these blue lines quite well, especially over here as well. But the main point is we do need to print above this 104,500. But again, I don't think that will be much issue considering what we have right now. We do have a lot of highs in this kind of range here. This range. I think we are going to be starting to come up towards this 106.8 area. I do think we're going to eventually come up to see it and try to break above it, or at least wick into it, which obviously will then cause us to become above 104k, and so on and so forth. So what does that leave us with? Obviously we'll have resistance at equilibrium, but I do think, I do hope anyway. Again, I'll have to see how we respond off the equilibrium, but I do think we're going to be trying to start to break above it. Now, if we apply what we have on the daily, which is this uptrend we have, which should in theory lead to us having a higher high above 109,900, that should lead us into maybe 102k area, whatever. So once we're above here, the next step in what was this nice process, which is completely flummoxed itself, was 116k. I just have this here to show you guys, I drew this and it was just wrong, but obviously I hadn't looked at the weekly equilibrium. So what we could probably do actually is look at the weekly equilibrium again to see where our next points are. Well, obviously it's a bit too high, 125k. These aren't prices we can really act upon. So I'll probably have to keep it at the 959049, whatever. We have some lines. We've already looked at this area. This 93k. This is equilibrium, so we've already looked at this. But again, so that's equilibrium. So now we're outside of equilibrium. So the main thing on this range anyway is the fact that we are above equilibrium holding it, but we do have difficulty here, which is on the weekly. Obviously this equilibrium. I'm trying to see on these. I don't really see much on these ranges, apart from this orange line, which is 118k. But the only price I really have to go off was my previous analysis, which was 116k. So that's why I put in the tile. I think we shouldn't really concern ourselves. I'm yapping. I'm aware of that. I think the only thing we can really concern ourselves with is getting up to that point, rather than where are we actually going to see. So I think for me, it's going to be us continuing to retrace our steps back up towards 106,800. I think that's all I can really go off right now. This wasn't valid analysis for the continuation, the trend continuation. Because as soon as we saw, especially this wick right here, as soon as we saw this wick down towards 98k and back up, this was kind of okay, we're not doing this. There's no chance we're doing this. So this is a continuation kind of formation within these ranges, which brings us towards the order block area, liquidity void, mitigation block area. It's something obviously we broke out of, so I can't really follow that as something to use as support resistance. I think it's just going to be 110,280 is obviously going to be big resistance as it being equilibrium. I'm obviously, I would love to give you guys some precise price point above equilibrium, but genuinely, all I have right now, from what I think I have in front of me, is the fact that we have this massive equilibrium and that we have to print a higher high above 109,800. I don't have anything else, really. We'll probably see resistance, 102k, 112k, but again, this is going to happen over a long period of time. I wouldn't worry yourself with those price points. I would rather say worry yourself with us retracing back up towards 106,800. Again, by the time it's Friday, we'll have done something, so I'll probably give better price points then. So to leave off with Bitcoin, 106,800 is where I have next. Again, we'll probably see some consolidation and bounces of 100,300 on lower time frames. But again, this main green area I have here, about 100k, is support point. 105k area, again, is support point. 106k resistance, and the only reason we haven't had true proper support, 105k, is the fact we have this equilibrium. So that's all I really have. So yeah, let me have a little look at the chat. When to buy? Yeah, again, when to buy? I think it depends on if you want to trade within today, within tomorrow, like on the hours. Then yeah, it might be different. But again, if you want to trade over a day or two or three, I think now is a decent time. Again, I don't want to say that when we have this massive wick coming from 91k, but in terms of the local scope we have, which is in between about 100k and 106k, I think we're definitely on the lower end of things. Because the way I'm envisioning it in my mind is this. This is our range, this white area. I'm not really concerning myself with this previous point because we've done it. We've done this TA, okay? And, we have the 109k, 110k nearly high on the daily we have to do. The weekly, we've bounced off equilibrium. What's been the trend on the weekly? It's been come up, okay, I don't have the range up. It's been come up to equilibrium, bounce off equilibrium, come up to equilibrium, bounce off lower end equilibrium, and then it's been come up again. So it's just going to be us coming back upwards towards the higher end of things. So yeah, I mean, but to be fair though, I mean, I suppose on the the weekly, this was more of a exaggerated print. So what it could be, this could be us. Okay, we've had our wick down towards support, but we're obviously, it depends on what we do in 6 days. To be fair, but this is very different from this. It's hard to see with all these blue lines, but I'll hide the range so you guys can see it. Obviously, this is very different. This bounce to this. This has been us bounce. Obviously, we've come down, had a wick, but in terms of our candle bodies, obviously we haven't printed yet. It's kind of been us coming up. We haven't had this proper big move downwards, and our print, especially print at the low, it's been us coming back upwards again. So in terms of when you're stuck in a range, you want to look for things which are different. If you have multiple bounces in a range, and then you have some, like if you're like double bounce, and then you have a bounce like this, this is different. What's going to give you more of a chance of breaking out? It's going to be you continuing to do this over and over again, or price actually showing signs of trying to change its current trend or current pattern, and then coming out and doing something else, which is obviously this scenario where obviously this was kind of the initiation of what would be the pattern. Okay, we've bounced off both equilibriums, but now we're just slowly coming upwards. We've had our bounce, but you know, we haven't truly printed below yet, which again will happen over the next 6 days. But again, I think we're going to stay up in our range. I think this was our bounce. This is a good bounce. I don't think we're going to come down again. I think this is our range. I think we're going to print up here. This is our difference in pattern. I think we'll then obviously have this nice move upwards, coming up towards, you know, the equilibrium, bouncing, and then continuing onwards. So, you know, so to kind of pile on the confluences, weekly, we should be coming upwards. Daily, we need to do a higher high. Is that it? I think that's pretty much it, really. I don't really know anything else. Here we go. Yeah, I mean, it's retracements to 106,800, and then the new high at 110k. That's all I've got. I'm yapping. It's 27 minutes left. I'm gonna move on. I'll do Solana first because I've been doing Solana first recently. Actually, I still haven't read the chat. Hold on. Here we go. I don't trade Elliott waves, but the PA aligns with the ABC correction, and we should be in wave 3 impulse. Okay. I'll look at Solana and I'll draw the Elliott wave. Wave 3 isn't that one? How many waves are there? You know what? I don't look at Elliott waves. I'm not gonna lie. Because I know there's an Elliott wave pattern. So what I'll do, I'll look up Elliott wave chart. I'll try and draw it onto Bitcoin, and I'll try and see what you're talking about, and see what it results in. I assume that it results in a positive thing. So yeah, so ABC correction. So impulse, I assume, should be the result from the correction back upwards. So yeah, that's all I can really say. Anyway, Solana. So obviously you might notice a big difference in, you know, where we truly came to and where my short was from. Now, if you remember what I was talking about up here, it was, we've kind of got this line. I think we're going to break out and come down. Again, the main thing was very positive. Right, okay, good. I would imagine so. I'd hope so anyway. So yeah, what I'll do, I'll look at Solana. I'll go back on a fresh chart on Bitcoin. I'll try and quickly draw. I think it's just 3 dots, all it has for the Elliott wave, if I'm not mistaken. The ABC, yeah, it's just these 3 dots. Or 4 dots, actually, coming from the origin point, whatever it is. So obviously, maybe it's, I don't know. Well, again, I'll look it up. Okay, I actually don't remember. I don't remember any time I've looked at Elliott waves in my life. I've probably looked at them once or twice. I don't really draw them, but I'll have a look at them. Yeah, thank you. I max fit of liquidation, so I only do hedge mode trading. Whatever market we can take profit. Yeah, I mean, it's if the strategy is profitable, then be my guest. I mean, I can't tell you otherwise. But yeah, I mean, obviously the issue is if it fakes you out. Obviously, if it's like, okay, you've got your hedge trade where you've got potential positive, potential negative. You see it starts to go down. You get out of the positive. You go into the negative for the short, and then it's just a sweep. Like liquidity sweep, let's say you've got multiple consistent highs or lows, or in this case it would be highs because you're doing a short, or actually no, it would be lows because it's coming down, so you get out your long. It sweeps lows for liquidity and then goes up ideologistically anyway, whatever the word is, and obviously then it goes for a long, so you get out of both. Again, obviously it's I don't do that method of trading. So again, if you are someone who's, you know, because for me anyway, I think, what time was it? It was like 4 a.m. for the period of time. I guess 4 hour quickly. Yeah, it was like, look, you can see I'm USD +1. Obviously, there was definitely the resultants, especially, you know, here, you know, at 1 and 5 p.m. But well, actually, this is a bit of a slower move. I think obviously Bitcoin, it had a massive candle. That's the thing, it had a massive candle. I don't remember what time it was, but I remember watching us or seeing us moving down, and it was quite late in the morning. So obviously if you're someone who's awake to be able to trade those, then yeah, I mean, absolutely. So obviously I don't know how you've ended up, Kishan, with this movement. Hopefully you've been profitable. Hopefully you guys have been profitable. Obviously, you know, I'm not going to say anything, but you know, I try to give my fair warning on my streams, especially Friday and Monday. You know, again, I don't stream every single night because again, I do the dailies and stuff, so it kind of, you know, defeats the purpose of doing it, you know, every night. If I was to look at it if I was to do streams every night, which obviously, because on YouTube you only have like 3 notifications, so if we upload a video and then do like 2 streams, you can't. Sometimes we'll do 2 videos, you can't do 2 streams because it won't notify people. Especially if Mike streams in the mornings, which he does every day. So if I was to stream every day, then obviously I would probably be looking at the lower time frames. But yeah, if my Monday and my Friday streams are both negative, that's you know, that's a big thing, I think, because sometimes, you know, I'll be negative on Monday, it'll result, and then on Friday it'll be like, okay, cool, we've done our thing, we've done the thing, now we're going to go up again. Obviously in this case, it wasn't a very good, especially looking at the weekly, wasn't a very good thing. But anyway, let's pay attention to the charts. We've got 23 minutes left, so I will have a look. So for both Ethereum and Solana, now I've been sitting on my throne, you know, twiddling my crown and my scepter, whatever, the little ruby thing at the end of it, and going, ha ha ha, I was right. Look at me, I'm so great. Now Bitcoin was the good prediction. You know, 92.5k, 92k, the range and the bounce of equilibrium I've shown on the stream. That was a good TA. Okay. Now Solana, the reason I picked Solana, obviously the last two streams I've done Solana before Ethereum, but the reason I picked Solana was it's only slightly closer to what's actually happened. Ethereum is very bad. I wasn't right. I was right, but I wasn't right. If you were to get into the Ethereum trade at 3,071 wherever you were, and short to 2817, which I think it's 2817 or 2871, you would have made profit, but you wouldn't have made much profit as you could have with the 2,000 fall. Especially with Solana as well. From the period I was talking about shorting till the 197, which is where I thought we were going to see our kind of bounce, you would have made, you know, 15% profit, which is good. But obviously it's not as good as what you could have had at $176. Now, obviously, why have we done this? Well, if you can read English, obviously not to alienate anyone who can't read English, but if you can't read, maybe if you can listen to English, I'll say it. The 27 PO3 EQ. What does that mean? I have no idea what you're talking about. You know, this is just some random letters and stuff, which, you know, I have no idea what the actual abbreviation, I think the word is abbreviation. You abbreviate something, you make it small. Oh, it's I've had this issue before. I can't remember what's the word when it's like smaller versions based on the first character, whatever. I don't know what this means. 27, I'll just tell you, I'm yapping. 27 is the power of 3 number. So 9, 27, obviously, you know, 81. Being 3 times 3 then 3, whatever. So 27 is the secondary number. You got 9, 27, 81. Obviously, you can see them 2, 4, 3. So this is the power of 3, 27 equilibrium, which is obviously the midpoints, like I said. So if we were to unhide the 27, you can see this black range spans across the entirety of the equilibrium. You know, not only the red areas, but the blue as well. Obviously, the wider range equilibrium. I should probably unhide the 2, 4, 3. What? Actually, which one was it? It's the 81, I think it was. Yeah, it is. This was okay. This was my analysis. This was okay. Well, actually, it did go down to 195, which we did actually bounce off here, which is quite nice. Obviously, we fell a bit further. But my thing was in the middle of 197, because I thought we were going to bounce off 200 because it was directly on equilibrium. By the way, what a nice equilibrium that is. I didn't even notice. Oh, I've made a huge mistake, haven't I? I'm not going to find it. Here it is. Look at that. How 7 pennies off of $200. What a nice equilibrium that is. Anyway, go back into it. So yeah, my idea was, okay, I think, because it was kind of it was a reserved analysis or a reserved number. It was, okay, I think $200 is going to be the bounce area. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, I think we could have a bounce of 200, have a wick towards, you know, 197-ish, and then obviously be on our way, which obviously we didn't do. We did have a wick at 195, but again, if it was me, I was like, okay, if I was like, oh yeah, we're going down, I would have shivvied this a bit towards 195. But obviously it was about 197 there. So in terms of what we actually did, we did bounce off the equilibrium pretty nice on the 81. What we actually did was massive wick to, as I mentioned, the equilibrium on the 27 here, which is this massive equilibrium here. So it actually shimmies up quite nicely with both, actually, because all equilibriums have the blue area as potential support resistance, but obviously some equilibriums on the 27 will line up with the 81, because obviously 27 plus 27 plus 27 is going to be 81. So there's going to be an equilibrium, the middle equilibrium of 27. So let's say you have 181 power free range. That consists of 327 power frees, which therefore means the middle equilibrium on the 27 is also the equilibrium on the 81. So obviously, as we can see here, this equilibrium for the 81 is also the mid equilibrium for the 27, but it also has the bottom and the top equilibrium, which obviously in this case we have good support on the 27 here and good support down here. Obviously, if we zoom out, you can see nice bounces here, nice bounce here, obviously big resistance here at the 173. And I've already had these areas. Look, I was looking at 27 multiple times back here, October time. Look, you can see 173.07 to 177.93. That is the equilibrium. Obviously we had this area here, which obviously we have bounced off before, but whatever. So zooming back in, so these are the important areas. The equilibriums are more important areas. So not only did we hold within this area, if we only had the 27, where was it? Which one was it? It was the daily. The daily looks beautiful on the equilibrium, especially on this one. A beautiful bounce into equilibrium. Whoops. Beautiful bounce into equilibrium, but the 27, especially was beautiful. Where was it? What did I just look at? Where it was a nice bounce in equilibrium. I don't know. It must have been the 81. But anyway, regardless, good bounce into equilibrium. But obviously on the 27 was the main bounce. So I thought we were going to hold at 194, but obviously we went down even further. But again, being right, but not as right as you could have, is a lot better than being completely wrong. So there you go. That's what I'd say. So anyways, that was what's happened over Solana over the past dump, basically. So let's hide the 27 because it's actually appalling to look at. I'm delete this because I can't bother to have it on the screen. Obviously, my main analysis of this was and has stayed up, as you can see with this retracement. And if you do remember, if you're someone who did watch the stream, obviously Monday and Friday, whatever, my main understanding or my main analysis was, well, we've had a very nice uptrend on our lows here, as we can see. And my idea was, okay, well, I think, let's base what we've had here and do it again, basically. Because look, this is what we had. We had this. Excluding this dump, from about here. We were already starting to go down. We had this massive thing to go off. So my understanding was, okay, cool. Well, we've already had this, so why don't we just apply that to what we have now? Which would be a bounce off this white line. Obviously, we've had wicks. We have had the occasional wick down. Especially here, we had the occasional wick down. Obviously, really extreme wick down here. But the main idea was we were going to print up of this white line and then come upwards. So similar how Bitcoin has its 93k equilibrium line, which is like kind of the line in the sand. This is kind of the diagonal line in the sand for Solana, which was this line to print above. Obviously, the difficulty being at equilibrium. Now, if we were to have the 243, obviously this gives a bit more depth to why we have this massive difficulty on the 729, which is this high-low scenario, and especially printing below purple line and using it as resistance. What does that mean? Well, obviously, if we know, if you're coming from a high point and this yellow line is a low and you're coming down, well, this expansion line basically sums up to us, okay, if we stay below this and use it as resistance, this therefore means we are now in this range down here instead of being in this range up here. So, yeah, obviously, the idea is if you can get above this range and bounce off the 269 and use it as support, then you're in the next range up, which then does this. So a similar thing we had here for Bitcoin, more of a long-term price targets, is the same thing here. We're stuck below this purple line. We can't get above it, which basically tells us, okay, we're in this range. Okay, so this equilibrium down here is what's going to be paid attention to. And if we look over a longer period, because this is the weekly, by the way, a longer period of time for Solana, what do we see? Really nice bounces in equilibrium, really nice bounces, really nice resistance, really nice support again. So yeah, just normal price action for Solana. Obviously, in this case, this whole build-up has been us trying to, get up above Solana, basically. So yeah. But again, this is the weekly. This is going to happen over a longer period of time. I think I need to sneeze, but I can't. It's stuck. Okay, I think it's okay. So again, very similar. So again, similar with like I just mentioned with the 243 or the 27 having 3 equilibriums inside 81. Same thing applies to 81 for the 243 because obviously 81 plus 81 plus 81 is 243. This will obviously the 81 can coincide with 243s. So if you see the 243 down here, and then if we so we have this circle, and then if we hide the 243, we have this one, and this one, and then we hide the 81s on the 243. Well, this 243, which spans this yellow line, spans these 3 circles. So again, like I said, it's like a triplet of things. So the expansion lines and the yellow lines, which are highs and lows, can also coincide with other places. So some of the 243, we also have the 81s. We have this kind of double pile up of this massive resistance. Obviously, paying attention to, we have this, I believe it's like a 729 breaker block. If we look at the weekly, look, 729 is roughly the weekly range. What do we have? What is this range? This range is for breaker blocks. What is this? Is a breaker block. And it's a positive breaker block at that, which is a good thing. Now, again, very similar to how we had with Bitcoin, where we had our bounce off equilibrium and then a massive movement back downwards, obviously resulted in a difficult but valid movement downwards below breaker block. But that doesn't, that kind of, how do we use this with breaker blocks? It's either a resistance point which isn't going to be that strong, or a support point which will be strong. So in this case, we're going to be using it as an idea that it's a resistance point which isn't going to be that strong, which kind of tells me that I think 245 won't be something difficult to get above and then use it as support. But again, it kind of clashes with the idea that the 243 or if we go to the 81, anyway, this yellow line is also at resistance. So I think the thing we have to do for Solana is get above the breaker block and then bounce off the breaker block, which coincides with the high and the purple line, which is this one here, which isn't rendering right now, but whatever. So that shows us this, basically, getting above and then bouncing off the breaker block and then continuing onwards. If we don't do that, we're then not in this range, which then doesn't allow us to go towards the next equilibrium, whatever. So yeah, I think, again, similar with Bitcoin, I think our movement is going to be upwards. So to now actually give some prices of validity and importance, I think we probably will see a bit of difficulty at 243, especially with this high. So I think 243 is another high point we'll see difficulty in. In terms of our price action over the past whenever, well, it could be showing signs of having an uptrend. Obviously, we've had higher lows. We've had this high here. So if we can do something which kind of comes into $300 area, then obviously we'll be in a true uptrend. In terms of what we have, I mean, we had a nice downtrend here. Lower lows, higher lows, sorry, lower lows and lower highs. Obviously, we then surpassed this area with this high, and then we then didn't do a higher low, but then we did a higher high again. So a bit dodgy in terms of it being now kind of one of those triangles which does this, which can break out. It then kind of shows me that we've had our bounce off here, and then it'll be coming up towards this kind of trend up here, back up towards $300. So I think $300 is a bit more of a long-term Solana prediction. I think, as we see currently, I think we're just going to have our journey up towards $243. That's about it. Yeah, I mean, we've got 10 minutes left, which allows us to have my shame, which isn't shame, but is, whatever. Is this the highest range we have? Where are we? What are we on? 6561. Yeah, okay, so this is the higher range. So, let's look then. Let me check the chat, see what's going on. Back with Jin, I feel like I can afford it now. Yeah, brilliant. Congratulations. Okay, so this is Ethereum, okay? Or it's on this exchange I'm currently using, obviously not to name exchanges or anything. This is the exchange I currently have. With the chart, it doesn't really matter. No one cares. Basically, this is what we're looking at, okay? And over this entire period, remembering this is breaker blocks, okay? So this area is where breaker blocks form with massive support or massive resistance. Okay, for me, obviously I have this green area, but even if you didn't have any of this on the screen, it sticks out like a sore thumb, in my opinion. It is directly in the center, and it is beautiful. Okay, it is like a work of art. It is beautiful. Okay, now what is it? You may be wondering. Well, it's a breaker block, obviously. It's right there. It's right. Behold your eyes upon this. It is right there, in all its glory. Directly, just boom, boom. Massive beautifulness right there. And obviously I know I've got my new color scheme because I know the light theme, no one liked it, aka Mike didn't like it. I know some of you guys didn't like it, whatever. But the yellow is the down, okay, the bad, the no good. The purple is the very nice, brilliant. So what does that mean? It is a negative order block, which as I talk about all the time with breaker blocks, you can use breaker blocks, and it's probably more normal to use a breaker block as resistance and then flip it to support. And sometimes if you fall below them, you can use them resistance again before you use the support, but obviously that's a different story. So again, very similar to here. In terms of going from 4 hour to weekly, it was more of a consistent resistance. Boom resistance, boom resistance, resistance, support, off we go. Okay, so that's just the translation on the weekly. But anyway, so a good weekly breaker block, positive, really good support. So in times of what's the word for it? Dire situation, which leads to massive wicks down and massive movements down in the market. There's this area down here, and then there's obviously what we've had lately. Obviously, this area was just a consolidation with our run up on this breaker block, which saw us to go up. Now, if you see, it's like it comes up. There's another breaker block here, actually. Why have I not made this purple? I'm an amateur. Jesus. Another weekly breaker block here. I'm starting to put text on. I think it helps a bit. It helps a tiny bit more in terms of, okay, what range is this on? So weekly breaker block. Well, you know what? To make it a bit smaller, I could maybe do like 1W. Or we. I'll leave it. Okay, weekly breaker block. So even another one there, which obviously we can see a very nice print here anyway. But anyway, whatever. The main one we're looking at is this big dog down here, which is weekly breaker block. Dire situation, boom, wick. What happens? Bang. 2,100. Oh my god, the world's ending. Please get my money out. I need to travel to a remote island and hide forever because everyone's gonna die. Bang. 2,100 again. So if I had enough hindsight, and again, hindsight is a beautiful, beautiful thing. And like I mentioned at the very start of the stream, would be if I had done this, it would have been even better. So the hindsight is, okay, I should have looked for previous scenarios where we had big movements downwards and applied that to where we are right now and see whether the support should have been. Because again, to be fair, looking at it, this is a very similar scenario as per Bitcoin. Because what does Bitcoin have? Bounces off of equilibrium, comes down to a consistent point. Bounces off equilibrium, comes down to a consistent point. So look, as Bitcoin has its bounce equilibrium, obviously current situation is like bounce equilibrium, bounce, wick down equilibrium. This is our current scenario for Bitcoin. If you think about it, very similar here. Obviously, it's a bit more in detail because it's Ethereum. I don't know. If we went to the monthly, is the monthly is basically the Bitcoin chart. Realistically, if we look at this is basically what Bitcoin is. If we go to Bitcoin quickly, this is basically the same thing. It's horrifying. Oh yeah, I forgot about this. I forgot I did all this. Yeah, I just joined, didn't I? Yeah. Huh. Oh yeah. Huh. Would you look at that? Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So let's go back. Okay, so let's compare weekly Bitcoin. Print it. Put it in your mind. Okay, this is. Put it here, right into your frontal lobe. That's pretty similar. Okay, so it actually seems like we had a lot more of a similar movement for Ethereum than I thought. Again, monthly and weekly, obviously very different things, but in terms of the general idea of our movement being bouncing off the top blue line, having difficulty printing above, and then finding a consistent point down to find a support, very same with Ethereum on the monthly, which is these two bounces, one being higher than the other, and then finding a consistent support point down here. I should have seen this. That's my fault. I should have saw this. I should have told you guys. I should have been the hero. Obviously, because obviously for Bitcoin, I was like, oh, 92k and 92k. I should have been the knight in shining armor. I should have gone, guys, don't buy. We're going down. I did say that, but I should have been more right than I was. But anyway, hindsight. So in hindsight, I should have seen this. I just didn't look at it. Okay, so obviously to take, because every day is a new learning experience for you, whatever, I don't know, motivational guru thing to say. What I will take forward from this scenario with the markets and these massive liquidations would be, number one, more people need to watch Crypto Warehouse and look at these streams, because obviously if the people who lost money, I'm not talking about you guys in terms of picking on someone who didn't watch the streams on Friday or Monday. and then maybe watching it today, or maybe didn't know. I'm talking about the people like who haven't heard of us, basically. I think they should know about Crypto Warehouse because they wouldn't have done what the hell they did, and they would have got out. So anyway, whatever. Obviously, the second point being to look more in depth. So yeah, I should have seen this. So anyway, the 92k or 91 whatever k of Bitcoin was about 2,100 for Ethereum. So yeah, very good here. But look at our retracement directly back above equilibrium at 2,700. Really nice there. So in the last 3 minutes, let's look at what we have. Yeah, so this was my this was my analysis. Is it coming from the breaker block? Yeah. I drew this before. I think I did. Did I? I don't know. What is this white area for? I've really forgotten. Was this a daily thing? Or 1 hour thing? It might have been a range. Oh, well, I'm doing it. Okay. So yeah, it was. Oh yeah. Form of the breaker block. Because this was within. This was within the time before I did the stream. So it wasn't on the 9 to basically the 9 to 1 a.m. candle. It was before that, because obviously this was about maybe 8 or something, or whenever it was before. So this wasn't shown during this period. But anyway, it brought us down regardless of where it was to 2,900. I thought, oh yeah, 2,900. This sounds like a consistent support point, because again, I didn't look that far out. I looked here. This is where I looked on the weekly. I was like, oh, this looks like a consistent area. Boom, weekly. Oh, we'll do our wicks. Obviously, it came a bit further down than that. So yeah, again, similar with Solana, 15%. This has another 14%. So again, if you were to fold these trades, again, still a good trade, regardless. Still a very good trade. In terms of a good profit anyway. But obviously, you could add a lot more if I looked properly. Which obviously would result in that 2,100 support. Anyway, these blue circles really annoying me. Where am I? Not Bitcoin. Sometimes things just happen on the charts. I just don't understand what's going on. Okay, so last minute, what do we have going on right now? Well, nice retracement. What is it? What is all this red line stuff going on? 2817, that's an important area to look at. So let's not do the weekly. Let's go on the 4 hour on the daily here. Okay, so we have this green area, which I've color-coded green as breaker block. So it's a breaker block somewhere. Now, if we look at this, I don't know what time frame it is, but we look, it results in a movement upwards, or it comes from a movement upwards and it results in a movement downwards. So clearly, this is a positive breaker block. So this is a support point. So you can see here, really good actually. Boom, so it forms it technically as an order block. Resistance, flip. Obviously this was massive dump. We would have surpassed it anyway. But in this case, what we have now is support. But getting very close to... Oh, isn't that beautiful? Oh my god. That is brilliant. That is beautiful. That is actually really, really nice. That's really, really nice. Because what does that mean? Because again, if you don't know, what is a purple line? Purple line is the expansion areas. So this is to confirm if you are above or below the yellow lines. Okay, so what you have to do with these lines, you have to print below them. You have to print below them, maybe use them as support or using resistance, whatever case. If we did this and we print out here and then did this and then we came up, this is a way worse scenario to be in than where we are right now. Because what does this mean? Massive wick down, massive retracement, print and confirm above the purple line and then continue off. Basically a perfect bounce right off it. So what does that tell me? We haven't confirmed in this range down here. It means we are still able to come up and be in this range up here, which is just beautiful for us. So I was going to say, I think 2817 might give us a bit of difficulty to get above because, or 2817. 2817 might give us a bit of difficulty to get above in case we haven't gone above or below the purple line. I mean, obviously in this case, it's beautiful. We are forming support the breaker block. We are coming upwards. I think we'll continue this, similar with Bitcoin, whatever. Now, yes, we have had resistance in this green area. We might see difficulty at 2,900 area, whatever, but I don't think it's going to be anything too horrible. We do have this area. Okay, that's not near us. So in terms of, okay, what do we see next? Where's our next point? Well, I guess it's basically equilibrium at 3,200. So I think we're going to slowly move upwards. I think we're going to surpass this. Oh, wait, what range was I on? I was on the 6. I was on the. So 2817, we're good. The 729, we're not. 729, perfect. Oh, look at that purple bounce there. Isn't that beautiful? How much is that on? That is $2. A $2 bounce. And perfect bounce in equilibrium coming upwards. But again, the thing about this one is we're coming up towards the purple line at 2827, which is basically 2817. So, to be fair, as I just said, 2817 might not see difficulty. It depends if we bounce off this purple line. If we surpass this purple line, number one will be above 2817. But then obviously we can surpass 2908 from the 729. But again, this is a lower range. On the daily, it's a bit of a different story, which is completely not even going anywhere near this. You know, whilst our candle, obviously it depends on what we do. If we can come up 2817 worth in 3 hours, I don't know if that's possible, considering how much we've already come up though, then we'll just print above this low, and then, you know, jobs are good. We'll just be on our way back upwards again. So, but yeah, 79 anyway, whatever. To try and find where our resistance is going to be. So in terms of Solana having 243 or whatever it was, Bitcoin having 106,800, I think Ethereum coming upwards slowly, similar with Bitcoin actually, having resistance about 3,200. I think we're going to see our movement back upwards. So in terms of a trade you can take in comparison to Bitcoin and Solana, I think Solana and Ethereum are going to have more of that movement. Obviously Bitcoin has its bounce and movement upwards, but on the daily, obviously we have this movement downwards. You know, we have this structure downwards. Obviously with Bitcoin, it's, you know, a bit different with its bounce, but in this case, I think Ethereum might be a better area to trade. You know, if I was to compare Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana, I think actually I actually haven't measured the percentages, but for Solana, for Ethereum anyway, I could estimate about a 18% move upward, which is pretty good. I don't know about Solana. Bitcoin, I think it was 11%. I can't remember. We'll measure it in a second. But again, I think 3,200 might be our next resistance. I think we're going to continue to come upwards again, because again, all we've done is wick all the way down and come all the way back up. So we haven't found any supports or resistances down there, We've just come straight back upwards, and now we're doing our thing. So I think we'll slowly see that ascent back upwards for Ethereum as well. So last thing I want to do, I know we're actually pretty far over the stream, to be fair. We're pretty far over. I'll quickly, let's just go on like this chart, whatever. I quickly want to look at, oh, right, I forgot about this stuff. Actually. Yeah. I remember this TA. Yeah. Anyway, whatever. Let's pretend that doesn't exist. Was it ABC correction you call it? Sure, they'll be like, oh yeah, boom, boom, boom. Okay. Right, okay. So I assume that's coming from our position on the lower end of things. You're probably somewhere. Let's just go on like the 1 hour. I don't know what time frame exactly this is, but okay. So dump, where it come from was we 4 hour. So obviously retracements from about here coming down. If B is the current movement upwards, or C even, where are we? Obviously, I imagine this is it. So I probably only go to a bit of a lower time frame. So clearly, this is our. Oh, okay. I can kind of see it. Yeah. Okay, I get it. So this is kind of like I don't know what O is. So there's A, B, C. So I assume this would be this, and then A's A to. Oh, so that's the. So origin to A. So this is the A line. This is B. This is the C. So I assume this is what we have going on here. Is there any resultant in a correction wave? Is this not it? In terms of our moving downwards. Is this on a higher range? I imagine you saying no means this is on a different area. Okay, let me look through more screenshots. Let me try and understand this. Oh, it's on the 4 hour. Okay, let me have a look again. So where can it come from? So okay, so okay, so what could this be? It could okay, yeah, okay, cool, yeah. So it depends where you started from. Actually, no, I should probably know. So it comes from a trend, and then it comes to the opposite movement. Okay, it's posted anyway. Oh, the initial, right? I get you. Okay. Right. Okay. Okay, so this comes from okay, so A. Okay, so that's the A, that's the B, that's the C. Okay. So that would be... Where is it? So let me get... You know what? I could just probably copy paste your thing and bring it up maybe, if this doesn't look too ugly. That works. I'll try and draw it. I'll put it on. So I assume the ABC is obviously the ABC. Yeah. So that comes from here. Okay, well, origin... So let's just do that so it gets out of the way. So... Oh, no. That's the A to the B. So this might need to go... So let's just draw that for now. A, B, C. That's not it. Is that right? Which one's the biggest line again? It was... No, that's right. Yeah, the A, the B, the C. Okay, cool. So that's the downwards. And then what does that result in? Oh, I get it. Okay, so this is the start of a movement. Right, and then this brings it up here. Is there a measurement for the waves? Is there a measurement you're supposed to do for the waves? Okay. There is some... I mean, obviously, this isn't exactly what you have on your thing. But you know, let's just copy the image again, okay? Because I'm clearly not smart enough to do this, I guess. So ABC, and then this is the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, cool. Oh, hold on a minute. Oh, okay, there's numbers. Okay, so this results in... So, okay, whatever. Let's just read from your chart. It results in movement to 114, back down to all-time high-ish, up towards 120... Yeah, 121, 127. Yeah, so these are similar prices, actually. These are quite similar prices to what I've seen. So let's just take the key. We'll end the stream soon, don't worry. I know we're quite over. So let's just compare what I potentially have. So I want to get out of here. Oh, let me delete this image quickly and go on to my actual chart. Okay, what the hell is this? What was this again? Oh, that's the range. I don't want that crap. Hold on. Was it 6 months ago? Was it this one? Or was it this one? I think it was something like here, wasn't it? I think. Here it is. No. Trust me, you haven't. It's alright. You haven't carried. It was like 12. It's like 10:15. I was still talking, so it's not here. Don't worry. I do want to look at it. I'm interested, and obviously, if people are interested, they can stay. If they're not interested, then they don't have to stay. It's fine. All I'm gonna do after this is the outro. So again, people can leave if they want to. Because I want to see what your chart shows. So in terms of prices, which I want to compare what I have. Right. Okay. Yeah. So what we saw on that chart. Okay. Cool. Because again, I've never looked at any wave, so I don't draw. Okay. So this is like a reversed version of what this is. So in terms of it being, wait, what? That's downward wave. And this results in a new trend. Oh, okay, that's actually pretty good. Well, I'll just look at your prices, which obviously results in a 114 300, back down towards all-time high-ish, up towards 120,593, and then obviously there's a line here at 127. I do have, I think 125 is one of my lines as well. This is what I drew a while ago, so very similar. I mean, obviously there's 114, which is one of the lower end of things. I had 116-ish K, and then this movement. Again, this is kind of this kind of pattern or whatever, or formation isn't gonna follow through. But my general trend, the general idea was about 116K, so slightly similar. $1,500 out, I think it is. What was yours again? 300 was it, or 500? About 500-ish, whatever. And then that results in 125. So what I also want to do before I do end, I want to look at the wider range. Which one was it again? You know what, to be fair, the 6561 might show me better on my charts, but I don't have it up right now. Is it this one? Yeah, here it is. This is the range. Oh, is it? Okay, one of these, I have a circle. It might be, is it this one? Here it is, yeah. So we have different prices here. Obviously one being 116. These are different prices. So like 108 has been one of our bounces. We have 111, 600, which is one of our other, I reckon we're going to be one of our other bounces as well. 116, which is where I drew my next line to, which is 118. And then we have 124,500 between there and 125.7. So we have one of these, you know what, I can probably draw a range here for that. So let's just do that quickly. And then what we can do is yeah, so that's one range I want to have. So yeah, so 116. So to compare some of those prices again, we do have so that 120. Well, yours comes to 120K, which you might, which mine might do. Mine is more in the middle, in between that 124,000. Or actually, no, it is 120K. What was yours again? Pretty much the same price, yeah, 120,593. And I've got this area here, 118 to 120 here. So this kind of rough range there, in this range, probably bouncing off, or probably being a wick anyway. So probably printing 118, wicking to 120. Yeah, very similar. What I'll probably do is I'll try to redraw that off stream because I clearly didn't draw the right thing. Yeah, no, I agree. I think 116 is one of my next ones. I know yours is 114. So yeah, 116 for me is one of mine. And yeah, so yeah, I'm yapping. Thank you though. Thank you for showing your chart. And I don't have much more to say. I know we're extremely over the 1 hour mark, but hey, it was, we've had a big movement. Obviously, we had a big movement. It's warranted. Okay, we had one of these movements, so you know, it's to be expected. So anyway, the biggest thing I want to say right now, though, external from the charts, is Wednesday. I would advise, you know, to come along. Okay, depends on, you know, if you're still watching, whatever. If you like the more interactive streams, and you know, where it's me and Mike in the office, and we're actually doing a stream of a project, whatever, Wednesday will be one of those. Okay, we're doing quid games. I have built a game. Okay, so you know, you guys chatting in the YouTube chat right now, you will be able to join and see questions, and you'll be able to answer through YouTube chat, and it'll all automated. An automated system will basically read your chat, measure between how fast you answered the question, and basically the winner is going to be the one who answered the most questions the fastest, basically. So if there's 5 people who answered all 5 questions, let's say it's 5 questions, all 5 questions, but one person answered faster than everyone else, they win. Or if someone answers 5 questions, everyone else will answer 4, they win as well. So it's going to be a nice little game. It's a bit more nuanced. It's a nice, cool game. I'll probably be doing some testing tomorrow on that, so maybe an afternoon stream tomorrow. A really quick one, maybe 30 minutes, whatever, or 20 minutes, just a little quick test. If anyone can join. I know I said that on Friday, but I'll do it again. And then obviously Wednesday will be the live thing, so if you do want to come join that, I would advise it. Next actual TA stream I'll be doing is going to be on Friday. But other than that, obviously I'll be in Telegram. If anything interesting happens, or anything I need to post, or anything I feel like I should post, I'll be posting in there. So I do appreciate you guys a lot. And I think somebody asked for some charts Friday, I think it was. But I asked them to post the coins in the trading area, and I will look at them and then post my charts. but I didn't see anything. Unless I really missed it. Did I miss it? I don't think I missed it. No. Yeah, I did miss it. Yeah, okay, I didn't miss it. I didn't want to be wrong there. So I didn't miss it. So yeah, to that guy, I would advise you to post them. So I didn't look at them. But yeah, if you talk and you know, oh, what do you think of this? Or whatever. I have time. It's not inside the stream. I was like, okay, I'm not doing something. I'll try to take a look at the chart and post it in there. So if you do want to talk, trading area, or the Telegram as a whole. If you do want to go join it, you have no idea where it is, like what's going on, what you talking about Telegram, go to the description of the where you're watching. Telegram will be there. So anyway, I've kept you guys long enough. If you've been watching from the start or whenever, I've kept you guys a lot. Okay, so I do appreciate you all. Shout out to you, KB, Kishan, Danny, Bullish Bull, Tariq, shout out to you. I don't think I'm forgetting. Kishan, I said Kishan, Danny, Bullish Bull, yeah, I said you all. Good. Didn't want to alienate anybody. So shout out to you all, man. Appreciate you all. You know, because again, there's some people, I kind of like, I'll get a lot of people watching and a lot of people won't talk, which is fine. But, you know, I do appreciate you guys talking and being a part and interacting in the stream, and especially, you know, UKB as well. I do appreciate you, you know, talking and sharing your, you know, stuff. And it's nice to have confluence with somebody else, you know, external. Because again, like I said, I don't watch anybody. I don't look at anybody in terms of their charts. Maybe occasionally, you know, if Mike's watching someone and I, you know, see him watching it and I'll look at it and, you know, probably laugh at them, whatever. I'll see Crypto Lifer. I won't say any more, to be fair. I won't say any more. If you know, you know about him. But anyway, whatever. I'm saying things for no reason. I don't look at anybody else. I don't have confidence. Maybe I sometimes talk to Mike, see what he's thinking about the charts. But yeah, it's nice. Thank you, KB, for sharing your findings, if you will. So yeah, I think that's it. I've genuinely talked. I don't know how I do it. I don't know how I talk this long. So thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate it. I will see you guys on Wednesday with Mike. Mike will see you in the morning tomorrow. I'll also see you Friday for my stream. And if you want any other updates, I will post it in the Telegram. So if you guys are like, oh, I wonder how Brogan's chart's doing on Bitcoin, I'm really interested. And it's it's a Thursday. Just say, oh, how's the Bitcoin chart at 50DK? Boom, screenshot, I'll post it. So yeah, if you're interested. If not, just watch it on Friday. Good everybody, take care. Take care to yourself, KV. Appreciate you. Thank you for joining. And yeah, I have a new UI actually. I did an AMA quite a while ago, and it involved a double camera kind of thing going on. I've been meaning, again, I'm horrible when it comes to actually arranging things with someone, but I do really want to get you on a stream, like a special stream with you to talk. I really do want to do that. So I do have a new UI for it, for one of the AMAs I did. So I will try and do that soon. Maybe, I don't know. What I'll try to do, maybe I'll arrange some questions. Maybe you send over some questions you want to sort of talk about, or things you want to talk about. Maybe I can try and arrange some questions and send them over to you, and we can kind of go from there. But I do apologize. I've been meaning to do it for so long, and obviously it was Christmas and then holiday, and then I didn't get around to it until now. So anyway, Danny, I'm surprised anyone's still here because I've been talking for so long. Good analysis, very good stream. Thank you. I really appreciate it. I really, really do appreciate it. Yeah, I mean, I sit on these streams and go, oh, look how great I am, guys. Amazing. I'm so good. Look at these price predictions. I got them all right. You know, albeit some of them. But, you know, I get things wrong. I do get things wrong. But, you know, whether it be more often or not, or I get things right, get things wrong. People get things right, people get things wrong, okay? It was just one of those days, you know, it's just one of those days where I got it right. So, you know, we can celebrate. So, but thank you guys anyway. Do appreciate it. I will end the stream because I've kept you guys for so long. See you guys on Telegram. See you guys Wednesday. I'm excited for this game. I'm really excited. So potentially see some of you Tuesday or tomorrow afternoon. It'll be a quick one. If you guys are free, you're free. If you're not, you're not. I will still be, because I can type myself in the chat and I can test the app, but I just want a couple people concurrently testing it with me to make sure it works on Wednesday. And if it really doesn't work, I'll be in trouble because then I've got to fix it before Wednesday. But anyway, thank you guys. I'm yapping. See you guys Wednesday. Thank you. Goodbye.
150.